Hello everyone, and welcome to the Back Garden Yard channel. Today is harvest day in April. That's right, we are harvesting things in April for our dinner, and I'm going to show you what, and I'm going to give you a full garden update. So I promised everyone we would update the garden at least twice a month to show people how it's progressing, and that's what we're going to do this year. Is I want you to follow along as this garden progresses. I've got over 18,000 subscribers now, and people want to see what I'm doing, so let's look and see what we're doing. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to harvest some more of this lettuce. This is the red romaine lettuce, and as you see how tall it's getting now, it's getting ready to bolt, but I've got more in other places. But anyway, I need to go ahead and thin some of this out, make salads. And so here's a red romaine. This is a red romaine also. It just didn't get as red as the other one. And they say that purple color is that reddish purple color is very healthy. Now this is more like the I think you call it butter lettuce. And I'm picking this, and I'll leave the bottom. It'll probably come back out. And then there's more lettuce here, and these all have different flavors. So going ahead and cutting some of these, and as you can see by the shape of the leaves, this is actually a different kind. Okay, and I think that's enough on the lettuce right now. And as we're going, I'm going to show you what's happening. Now I planted cucumbers, and I planted them. You can see where I use my seed starting mix in this old hard clay soil that I have. So I put the seed starting mix in after I made a little trench here, and in each spot where I put seed starting mix, I just covered the seeds up. And you can see what a nice stand of cucumbers has come up here. So that's what this is right here. And we had a pretty good strawberry picking, and I'll show you. There's still strawberries in here. Very nice. So I'm not going to pick these today, but I just want to show you the harvest is happening on strawberries, and they're looking really good. You need to get them out and put them up on the straw. Those were some rejects. And it's really not a good idea to do what I'm doing and throw them aside, because you're just feeding the bugs that way. But anyway, strawberries are harvesting. Then I've got a row of peppers here that I've planted. These were the ones that I started in my seed starting mix, and now I've got the row all the way down. And these are the Asian peppers. And for those of y'all that's never seen an asparagus fern, what happens is if you don't pick the asparagus, it burns out and makes these beautiful ferns like this, and that's fine. What I do is I let the skinny ones fern out, and that way they're going to grow and make better roots, and that will give more energy to the plants next year to make thicker, better asparagus. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some of these. They're not quite as thick as I usually like, but I'm going to go ahead and pick them. I've had a really nice asparagus crop this year. It's probably about the 5th picking I've had so far, and I should be able to pick them for another 3 weeks. I did a whole video on how to supercharge with ammonium nitrate your lettuce, and anyone that saw that was 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I was showing how you could get the lettuce to now this is not lettuce, these are weeds that have popped up, but anyway, this is more red romaine, and it just took off after I hit it with the ammonium nitrate. And then this is a different kind of lettuce, and once again it has just taken off. Once again, these are weeds, but it has just taken off since I hit it with the ammonium nitrate. We ate this for supper last night. Probably eat some more tonight. Well, I've got the other kind. And then here was the mescaline, and it has already, these are really, really tasty leaves, and it has already bolted. Got beautiful flowers. I wasn't really wanting to grow flowers, but it's already bolted. And so, like I say, it's almost over. This is one of the fastest growing kinds of lettuce you can get. Let's see if I can still show it now that it's all messed up. It's called mescaline, M-E-S-C-L-U-N. So anyway, that is what's going on with the lettuce. Then over here are the sweet potatoes. I've done a couple of videos on them. All these sweet potato plants started from one sweet potato slip, they call them. And every time you get an area growing out like this, it'll make a plant if you want it to. It'll root and make a plant. So I'm letting the slips grow out so I can plant my sweet potatoes in May. And they are doing very, very well, as you can see. And then over here I have carrots. Some of the rows did pretty good, some of the rows not as good, but these are my carrots. I need to work them with a little more dirt around them and weed them. And then these are beets. Beets have come up looking pretty good. Yeah, this one will need dirt around it. As you can see, it got so big it fell over, and you'll never get a beet if you don't work a little dirt around the plants. So let's do that on this one right now, since he's crying for help. There we go. And anyway, I've got to get out here and work the beet patch. Got a big rain coming in at any time, so I won't try to work all that today. I'm gonna wait till after the rains. Okay, and so I showed this is the chive patch. My wife has already come out and picked it by cutting right at the base of these chive plants, and it's already come back out this much. So this stuff just grows and grows and grows. If you like chives, you like chive on your potatoes, we've got a nice chive patch here. And then finally, and I showed how I planted these. I did a video on showing how to plant tomatoes, and they are doing excellent. This particular leaf here has been knocked off by something, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. But and when you get a bottom leaf like that that's losing its color, you want to go ahead and just cut it off. And anyway, these are really growing nice. They're looking good, and they're going to train right up this trellis fence. Now this is the one that I started on my seed starting experiment way back in February, and I've already got a tomato on that one. It's looking nice, growing nice, got more blooms here. And then the same thing for this other one. There's the tomato, there's more blooms. These are just doing great. So I'm very happy the way my Better Boy tomatoes have come out. These are the early girls, and they're doing fine. They're a little lighter color than the Better Boys. And then these are the yellow pear tomatoes, and they're sitting right here where I did my experiment on cow manure. And I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. I hope it fertilizes and make them grow. I hope there's nothing in the cow manure that actually would stun them, because as you can see, it's laying around. And I threw all the rest of the cow manure residue into the asparagus patch. And that's what's going on here. Now let's go to the backyard, back garden. Let's go. So as we go through the orchard section here, this is just an incredible amount of extra plants that I've got right now that I don't really have room for. I'm trying to give them away. Now these are my eggplants, and I don't want to put them in the ground because of the black flea beetle that will just eat them up. So I'm saving them, but there's more eggplants here that I haven't even bothered to thin. And then the same, here are some that I have thinned on the giant bell peppers. And then these are regular green bell peppers, and over there some Better Boy and Early Girl tomatoes and stuff, and some there's some more of the banana peppers. I just don't have room to get all those in the garden so far this year. And now we're coming on into the back garden, and this is 2 rows of Silver Queen corn. And they didn't come up real good, but I planted them too early. But that's, I just plant corn kind of as a novelty, because I don't really have a field to plant a field of corn. And then this is Korean corn. It's like what we call Indian corn. It's got different purple and yellow and white kernels all mixed together, and it's looking really nice. It came out really well. And then over here are some butternut squash that I'm gonna let come up on this trellis. And there's one, and there's another one. And so they're trying to come on out. And then here is a calabash squash, which are, you've seen videos of mine, you'll see the pumpkins that I grow. They're called calabash pumpkins or calabash squash. And here's some more that I did as part of my seed starting experiment that I set out once it got warm enough, and now they're starting to take off. And these are more calabash. So I've got too many calabash. These things run and take over. But anyway, now this is a climbing lima bean. And I've had a hard time getting them started this year. I think I started too early. The soil was too cold, and something's coming in and digging them up and eating them before they come up. So anyway, I have managed to get a couple of them there. See, here's the spot nothing came up. And here's another spot where you can see where something dug in there. And now we've got zucchini squash. And let's see if we can read the sign. I've got several kinds of squash. These are Ford hook zucchini. And so in between the stakes is where the seeds are. Nothing's up here yet. But down here, I've got 2. And so if no more come up there, I can move one down there in that spot, because you want a lot of room for your squash. They're gonna get big with huge leaves. These are ready for harvest. My wife makes kimchi out of these radishes. These are some special radish that doesn't make a big, deep root, but let's just pull one. And she mainly uses the stems and the leaves along with this root. Oh, this makes the best kimchi you have ever eaten. And these are just perfectly ready to pick. So I hope she'll get out here and pick them, since I grew them for her. Now, one of the last things I'm going to show you are these snow peas. Now these snow peas are just really, this is the earliest I've ever had this kind of harvest on snow peas. So you can see how long they are. They're as long as my finger. They're so tender. They got very little strings on them. We've already had them twice, and they're just producing like crazy, and they should produce until it gets really, really hot towards the end of May. You want to come on out here and get all the ones that are, you can see they're trying to form peas inside. And like I say, these you eat the shell and all. If you've never grown snow peas, they're really easy and they come in early. I'm surprised so many people don't grow snow peas. And I promised you a surprise harvest on that little flash I put on the screen back at the beginning of the video. So let's go find the surprise harvest. Now these are our old logs that we thought they were done. So my wife had some helpers come and they just threw them back here against the property line, and I want you to look at these shiitake mushrooms that have come in. Look at that. That is a beautiful shiitake mushroom. You have to get them before they get rained on again, or that will literally just rot them off the logs. These are in perfect shape. All I gotta do is rinse them off and they're ready. Isn't that beautiful? Okay folks, so here is today's haul. Got lettuce, I've got snow peas, I've got shiitake mushrooms, and I've got asparagus. And if I wanted to, I could go get some spring onions, but I've already got some in the house, and also some garlic. So if you plan your spring garden, you can be eating from your garden in April. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. We've already got 18,000 subscribers. I'd love to have 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So it really helps me out if you'll like the videos and subscribe. And we will see you on the next video.